Stink, I miss you.
I miss you too. What you doing?
Nothing, bored. You don't like him?
No, he's in my motherfucking room.
Cause you was being mean. He felt your energy.
Man, I don't even play. I fly all the way to LA. Is that?
You ain't gonna touch him. You ain't gonna put an inch of him. Hold on, let me show you Tootie.
I used to forget, like, damn, I really got little people.
Yeah, so you gotta just.
So lately, I just been with my kids a lot. So now it's just like I'm looking at my daughters. They listening to I'm a Savage. I'm like, oh, they got it. Yeah. Hell no, Meg got it.
They come out the room talking about.
The reason for Young Thug being silent after his release from jail has now finally been revealed, plotting his first song release to be a diss towards Gunna for snitching in the YSL trial. As the day after his release from jail, Young Thug tweeted, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats," with the name Wham referring to rapper Lil Baby, as Lil Baby has been firm on dissing Gunna for snitching out of the YSL trial early. Lil Baby responded to Young Thug on Instagram saying, "We should," but then he followed it up with a short Instagram clip with one of his mentors named T.I., where Young Thug clearly says that he's home and he did it the right way, sneak dissing Gunna.
Hey man, what you got to tell these people?
Back. Back, Jack.
You feel me?
You did.
Hey man, ain't no cap in it.
No cap in my rap.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
It's time.
The right way, bro.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
And go tell that.
Letting Gunna know that he did it the right way to get out of jail. But what happened today changed everything. As Young Thug tweeted, "Gunna, stop acting like we're friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy." With many believing Thug's Twitter account got hacked, but DJ Academics would confirm that it wasn't. It would then be announced, Young Thug personally told Lil Baby, Lil Durk, and other rappers that Gunna is a snitch, according to DJ Academics.
The streets are so atrocious. Young Thug told everybody that Gunna was a snitch. I'm telling you this, I don't give a f if you believe me. That's what he sent to. Or he sent a message to Durk, Baby. There's a few other rappers, I just won't call their names. Just because some of them just told me in privacy. All of them rappers start not f***ing with Gunna, speaking out, they're chilling away. Thug got out, Gunna kinda hot. It ain't like you're trying to really like jump and work with Gunna, but
the story gets even crazier from here, as this is when a leaked phone call from Young Thug in jail, with Lil Durk being on the other end of the call, where Thug was asking Lil Durk to diss Gunna for him for his upcoming album.
Hey Durk, I know I want you on. I'm dropping this this surprise album on the same day Buddy dropped his album. Coming up soon. I need a verse from you. If you feel like replying, if you feel like you want to reply to it, saying or something, man, don't do it. Drop it on my album. I'm dropping a surprise album on the same day that drop. Send your verse in, bro. I want you and Wham on the same song. Send your verse in.
This is when more rappers would begin getting involved in the beef, wanting to get close with Young Thug, knowing that Thug's first project is going to be one of the biggest of the entire year. We would see Drake take advantage of it, who was once just recently in a very big beef with Kendrick Lamar, is looking to have ties with anyone in the industry. As it was announced, Academic says Drake flew to go see Young Thug just 2 hours after his release from jail and gave him $1 million in cash.
They say 2 hours afterwards, Drake flew to Thug and allegedly gave him $1 million. Drake didn't tell me. Drake gonna hit me up and be like, which, by the way, super strategic move. Super strategic. Thug was in jail talking about let's squash all this beef. If I'm Drake, I need Atlanta. Okay, so I got one Atlanta. That's what I Ghost. Supposedly Drake flew to wherever Thug was at. Gave $1 million. Y'all can't turn Atlanta against no big Drizzy. Get the fuck out of here.
However, the situation could end very badly for Young Thug if he continues. He's not allowed to be acting like this according to his probation agreement, as it would be announced. DJ Academic speaks on Young Thug getting released and says the stipulations that he has got are a setup for the court to try to put Young Thug back in jail, explaining that it's all a setup for Thug to eventually fail and then go to prison for over 20 years.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or gang members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is gang activity. Well, yo, he's always gonna talk about him and his is doing his thing. They might consider that gang activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the gang. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see this was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
As Academics would end up then revealing that Young Thug is going to get set up by the feds to be placed back into prison for over 20 years. This is an actual regular setup the feds do when a criminal accepts a plea deal, saying we'll give you 15 years of probation, but if you break that probation just once, you'll actually be serving more time in prison than what the regular sentence would have been if you didn't take a plea deal. But this did get the attention of the famous rap lawyer, who does explain that it is an amazing deal for Young Thug as long as he doesn't break the probation.
Young Thug absolutely won that plea deal for so many reasons. One, the prosecution got none of what they wanted when you think about what the charges were and what actually got pled to. And two, he saved himself some major civil liability. Let me break that down. So first off, prosecution had charged this man with 8 counts. 2 of them were very serious. 2 of them were basically saying that for years you were the leader of a criminal gang that committed murders and all types of acts all over the city of Atlanta. Those 2 charges Young Thug did not plead guilty to. Had he pled guilty to those, he would have gotten serious time, and all the victims of all of this alleged criminal street gang activity, including the families of could have sued him civilly in court and said, hey, this man pled guilty to doing it. Now he's got to pay me. He pled nolo contendere. The judge accepted that plea. The prosecution said, Judge, you should not allow a nolo contendere plea on those 2 counts. The judge said, I am going to allow it.
But the YSL Rico trial is actually far from over, as reports are coming out that Young Thug's legal team is taking action against the state for stealing a watch from Young Thug. A report would be shared. Rapper Young Thug had millions in assets in his home when he was arrested, and now the state wants to seize it. The only problem is that he earned it with his very successful music career, with the main item in question being a Richard Mille Bubba Watson with an estimated price tag of $304,000 retail. Mind you, there's only 100 of them made. The actual price to obtain the watch is nearly $1 million. But then the following day in court, a police officer would take the stand, who just so happened to be wearing a Richard Mille.
3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
All right. Can you tell the jury some of your responsibilities and what your role was at Zone 3 Evening Watch?
Now, Young Thug found it funny. After the reports went viral of a police officer with an estimated salary of $60,000 in the United States went to the stand wearing a Richard Mille, Young Thug would go on Instagram Live to laugh about it, as well as laughing a little bit too hard, where many fans believe that he was talking about the tweet that he made earlier on in the day.
I'm gonna laugh. I just jumped on here to let you ladies know that yes, a goat can go live. Whoa! What's up? Who up right now? What's up? Who up right now?
Several hours later, we would then see Young Thug once again, but this time he would be on FaceTime with his lawyer Brian Steele, who is talking into a classroom for motivation for all the students that want to become a lawyer. Young Thug would call and share what's important in life.
You guys should become lawyers. I think it's very important to help people out of the situations they're in the best you can. I mean, what side you want to be on? You want to put people in prison for mistakes? Because everybody makes mistakes. We're human. You know, and everybody on this phone, everybody in this classroom, you always need to know that you're one mistake away.
And I feel like we need more people like Brian Steele on this earth and less people like that. So I think it's very, very, very important to become lawyers. I think it's very, very important to be a lawyer over any other thing. You know, lawyers and doctors are the two greatest things that were ever founded, you know?
As Young Thug would later describe to the classroom the real reason that he was even released from jail. This was the emotional speech he had inside of the court, which made the judge cry. As described by Young Thug himself, he would end up sharing to the jury and judge the type of man that he is, and that he's truly sorry for the mistakes that he made.
Anything that you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, you know, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names, you know. My managers, my kids that's not here. Really everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just like, you know, having so much time invested into this, you know. And I am a smart guy, I am a good guy, and I really got a good heart, you know. I find myself in a lot of stuff because I was just nice or cool, you know, and I understand that you can't be that way when you reach a certain height because it could end bad.
As Young Thug would continue on further with his speech, making everybody cry inside of the room, accepting his wrongs and promising to be a better person, you can tell that he was truly being genuine.
I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's at a, you know, bar in the future or something. Just out of this type of situation, I promise you I won't ever be in this type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes. You know, I come from nothing and I've made something and I didn't take full advantage of it. I'm sorry. Through these last 2.5 years of my life, you are really, truly, honestly, the best thing that has happened to me because you made everything fair for me and everybody involved on both sides, you know. I'm sorry to the sheriff, you know, everybody for just having to put extra time in. I know y'all got paid more money, but I'm sorry for y'all having to put this extra time in to be away from y'all family, you know, and I just hope that.
He would then end off his speech by telling the judge what he has done for the community by performing free concerts and donating millions of dollars for underdeveloped communities and schools.
You find it in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am. I know the heights I've reached. I know the impact I got on people, period, in the community, you know, all people. I learned that late, like these past 2 or 3 years of my life, I kind of learned that late, and maybe it was because I was, you know, probably on or anything, I don't know, but I have came to my senses and I understand what I mean to this world. But I am a good guy, you know. I don't mind doing stuff like, you know, like free shows, and I always did that, you know. I did free shows and gave it to single parents, millions of dollars. You know, I made $1.8 million on a free show, and I gave it all to single parent charity, and I did.
As this is what Young Thug meant when he said that he got released the right way earlier on in the video, as Thug was never even supposed to be released from the YSL trial because it wasn't even supposed to end. It was sadly announced. Young Thug's lawyer said Young Thug insisted on this because he couldn't handle 3 more months knowing of his kids being upset. If there was any chance that he can come home and see his kids, then take the deal. His lawyer told him that they are winning the trial, but he was okay with either decision.
For almost 2 years since we did our jury selection initiation on January 4th, 2023. Mr. Williams been sitting in a jail since May 9th, 2022. This is 2.5 years waiting for the conclusion of the state's case and a verdict from the jury, and that's why he is tendering this plea. I'm telling the court this, and the court knows when you came out the first time, it's very hard for Mr. Williams. I am not supportive of what we're doing right now. I'm not against it. But I told Mr. Williams, you okay with me saying this? Yes. I told Mr. Williams that I think we're winning the trial and we should go to verdict. But he told me I can't wait another 3 months if there is any possibility I could go home because I have children that are hurting.
As when Young Thug finally won the case and he was sentenced to probation, we would see Thug's lawyer outside of the courthouse giving a post-game interview where he would share disturbing details of the life of Young Thug while in jail.
As far as how Jeffrey's feeling now, he knows my feelings, which I'm not going to reveal for attorney-client privilege, but this is not the same as a not guilty verdict. That should have been ran. But nobody here wakes up every day on a concrete floor that they're calling his bed, gets up at 4:15, gets shackled at his feet, his waist, and his hands, comes to the Fulton County Courthouse to be on concrete, eating out of a bag. Doritos is his meal of choice. And then coming to a courtroom and sit there with a leg chain on him every single day and hear lie after lie. So for Jeffrey go home today and not have another 90 days or 120 days of it, he is very happy.